Johnny Depp's secret love story that Hollywood tried to hide. For the decades, Johnny Depp has been one of the Hollywood's most captivating figures, from his breakout role in the 21 Jump Street to his legendary performance as the Captain Jack Sparrow, Edward Scissorhands, and the countless others. Depp has lived a life under the harsh of the spotlight, yet, even with all the tension, all the scandals, and all the gossips columns dedicated to dissecting his every move, there remains one chapter in his life that the few truly know about, a secret love story carefully concealed from the public eye. That this is not a story of the headline grabbing romance, a red carpet love affair, or a top tabloid scandal. This is a quieter, deeper connection that Hollywood, in its all noise and the chaos, could not fully erase. For those who have followed the depth journey, the existence of much love seems both surprising and inevitable. A man misunderstood. Johnny Depp has always been a man of the contradictions. One, on the other hand, he is a rebellious rock and roll soul who never fully fit into the Hollywood's machinery. On the other, he is an actor of rare sensitivity, capable of breathing life into the characters that remain etched in the cinematic history. With such a complex personality, it is no surprise that his relationship has often been equally complicated. Has never been kind of the depth's personal life. His love stories, whether with the Winona Ryder and the Vanessa Paradis or Amber Heard, were picked apart, sensationalized, and twisted into the narratives that often serve the industry's appetite for the scandal more than the truth. Yet, and amid of that, there was someone who touched the depths heart in the ways the world never fully discovered. The hidden chapter, the story begins in the late 90s, a time when the Depp star power was reaching the new heights. He was filming major projects, traveling the world, and competing with his place as one of the cinematic true icons. Behind the curtain, however, he developed a connection with a woman far away from the camera, someone who belonged to the Hollywood but to the quieter corner of the life. She was not just an actor, not a model, not a someone who needed fame to validate her existence. She was the artist in her own right, working with the paint and the canvas instead of the cameras and the scripts. Their paths crossed through the mutual friends, and that was began as the conversations about the art, music, and the human conditions grew into the something more intimate. While the tabloids bounded depth for any trace of the new romance, this love story was deliberately kept hidden. They meant the private, away from the paparazzi, sometimes in the Paris, sometimes in small towns where the nobody would recognize them. It was not about the glamour, it was about the comfort of the two souls finding one another. Why Hollywood hide it? The entertainment industry thrives on the stories it can sell, the scandals, breakups, fiery romances, and the betrayals. A grounded, genuine love affair that did not affect and feed the machine had no place on the magazine covers. Insiders close to the depth say that his team encouraged him keep to his chapter quiet, fearing the media circus would destroy it before it had a chance to bloom. Hollywood, in many ways, hides the stories that not through direct through the direct censorship, but through the neglect. When a romance does not serve narrative of the stardom, it is ignored, overshadowed by the louder dramas. Depp, fiercely protective of his bond, agreed for perhaps the first time in his adult life, he chose silence over the spectacle. The nature of the bond. Those who know Depps describes his relationship as one of the most authentic, unlike his more public romances. This was not based on the red carpet appearances or the publicity tours. Instead, It was about the long nights discussing the philosophy, music, jam sessions where the Depp would play the guitar, and the moments of the vulnerability where the actor could let go of the persona that world had forced upon him. She grounded him. She reminded him the boy from the Owensboro, Kentucky, who once dreamed of making the music before acting pulled him into on another path. And that around her he did not need to be Johnny Depp movie star. He could simply be the John Christopher Depp too, a man who still carried the soul of the protect of the poet and a musician. The inevitable distance. Like the many secret love stories, this one was not but without his challenges. The demands of the Depp's career meant the months on the film sets. Hollywood spotlight never stopped burning through the tired shield their bond. Critics that eventually appeared distant secrecy and the immense pressure of the fame weighed heavily on the relationship. Yet even when romance faded onto the past, the affection never disappeared. Depp has spoken in the cryptic interviews about a love remained untouched by the time, a love that was never meant for the Hollywood's consumptions. Though he has never named her, those close to him know that this is the hidden music and a muse left on the indelible mark on his heart. Echoes in his art. Depp has always been the more than the actor. His paintings, his music, even his performances often carry the echoes of his inner world. Fans have speculated that certain songs he performed with his band or certain portraits he painted in the recent years were quite tributes to his secret love. While he never confirmed such the interpretations, the raw emotions in his work speaks volumes. Unlike the Hollywood's carefully packaged romances, this hidden story continues to live not only in the photographs or the press release, but in the brushstrokes, guitars, chords, and the private memories. It is a reminder that not all the love needs to be performed for an audience. Some loves are the meant to remain the sacred. Why this story matters in a world obsessed with the exposure, Death's secret love story reveals something rare: the power of the privacy for a man whose life has been defined by the extremes, adoration, and the verification, the triumph and the controversies. This hidden romance offered the balance. It showed that even the most hypnotized figures craves something simple, a connection untouched by the fame. Fans often search for the news and the answers in the celebrity lives, hoping to piece together the puzzle of their icons. But sometimes the most important truths are there ones left unsaid. For Depp, this secret love was never about the hiding shame. It was about protecting the beauty, a legacy of the love. Today, Johnny Depp continues to work, to paint, to play music, and the surprised world by his resilience. Yet, behind the laughter, the eccentric characters, and the headlines, there is always the shadow of the secret chapter. A chapter Hollywood may have hidden, but one that still lives in the heart. But for those who admire Depp not just as an actor but as a human being, this love story is perhaps his most profound performance. Not acted for the cameras, but lived quietly, passionately, and truthfully. Because sometimes the greatest love stories are the ones the world never sees. Guys, if you find this video as entertaining and interesting, then you have to subscribe the channel, and I wish you best of luck.